Wondering where on earth to start with your content for 2025? Perhaps you've been a little inconsistent or haven't achieved what you wanted to with your content, or dare I say it, have fallen out of love with it. As we wrap up 2024, I'm inviting you to pause, to breathe, and take a moment to reflect on your wins, your challenges, and most importantly, your growth. This episode is all about starting to create space for that reflection so that you can begin dreaming about 2025 with intention and clarity. To help you do this, I'll walk you through a super simple yet powerful exercise to help you look at this year's content. It will set you up to create aligned, purposeful content that feels good for you and works for you. And hint, it may involve letting go of some things. So grab a notebook if you can so that you can spend some time to reflect, or grab my free content review and planning guide from the show notes so that you can do it later.
Welcome to the Powerful Content Podcast, your go-to source for content creation, strategy, and business inspiration. I'm your host, Mel Daniels, content strategist, coach, and speaker, empowering women across the globe to grow their business with powerful content that connects, nurtures, and converts. So if you're ready to create standout content that gets you noticed and remembered, or build an aligned audience who love you and are ready to buy from you, you're in the right place. I believe that content has the power to connect us all. It's up to you how you use it. Listen in for genuine and insightful chats with guests, as well as practical tools and strategies from me. It's so lovely to have you here. Let's dive into the show.
I acknowledge the Wongal people of the Eora Nation as the traditional custodians of the country that I am recording from today. I recognise their continuing connection to the land and waters. I pay my respects to elders past and present and extend that respect to all First Nation people listening today. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to episode 146 of the Powerful Content Podcast. I'm popping in very quickly this week to say I hope you have a lovely break over the festive season, whatever that looks like for you. I'm definitely looking forward to switching off from my business totally and putting my focus elsewhere for a while. Now, not many people know this, but I'll let you in on this secret. For the last month, I've been indulging in work outside my business, and I've been absolutely loving it. I'll do an episode in the new year on how and why this came about, but it's definitely made my usual busy time of the year a little bit more challenging, but I'm soldiering through. Now, every year at this time, I take the time to reflect on the year that was, and I can tell you that 2024 was definitely a roller coaster for me, to say the least. So I guess this episode is a little indulgent in some ways, allowing me to create the space to take a look at what's worked well for me and what hasn't. But I'd highly recommend that you do the same. It doesn't need to be a podcast episode, obviously, and you don't even need to share it with anyone. But I really encourage you to take the time to think about what wins that you've had this year and perhaps what you can learn from them as well. So let's talk about celebrating wins. Plenty of my favorite people have paid and free versions of reviewing and goal setting, and you can find some of them down in the show notes. And I really recommend that you go and check them out. But one of my favorite workbooks is my content review and planning guide, and I can't wait to get stuck into this over the break. It's absolutely the perfect way to reflect so that you can move forward in 2025. I'm going to include a little mini exercise later in today's episode to help you on your way to thinking about what your content will look like in 2025. But when I'm thinking and dreaming about the future, I like to look back first. So I thought that I would share 3 things with you today that I'm celebrating in 2024. Number 1, without a doubt, publishing a book is my biggest achievement of 2024 and pretty much my business career, really. My focus on finishing The Power of Content meant that a great deal of other business stuff was actually put on hold, including sales. So whilst I'm so happy that I finally managed to get the book out into the world, it came at a big expense to my business in many ways. I'm yet to share anything about these processes. I'm really conscious of sharing from a place of reflection rather than being in the moment. So it's definitely on my list of episodes for 2025. Now, my members inside the Content Effect got an insight into the writing and publishing process in this month's new training that was released. So if writing a book is on your list for 2025 or the near future, now is a great time to join the Content Effect. I'll pop that link in the show notes as well. But writing and publishing this book has been a surprise in many ways. It's been a surprise boost to my self-confidence. These people out there who I don't even know who have purchased The Power of Content and sent me lovely messages. It was accepted as a sponsored gift to the large conference recently, and it has opened so many new doors. I've even guested on podcasts solely during 2024 talking about the book. Not me or what I do, just my book. So I'm really aware of the privilege of having put it out into the world. And this is my opportunity for a little bit of a sales pitch. If you'd like a last minute gift for yourself or someone else you know, head to thecontenteffect.com.au/book to purchase your signed copy of The Content Effect directly from me, or you can purchase it from Amazon. Okay, so number 2 is I was a guest on 10 podcasts. One of my most favorite things to do is to be a guest on podcasts. And this year saw me featured on 10 podcasts, with 2 of these being solely about my book, The Power of Content. Whilst I may be a bit of an old hat at guesting, and if you want to know more about my suggestions around guesting, you can go back to episode 34. I'm really always appreciative of the time and effort my hosts put into it, as I know firsthand what's involved in putting together an episode and promoting it, and it is time consuming to say the least. Guesting will definitely continue to be on my radar into 2025, as it's something that I absolutely love to do. And I know that it increases my visibility and my confidence as I talk more about my thought leadership. The more I talk, the more people get to hear the message that content can be easy when you be more you and ditch the shoulds. And if you'd like to hear a selection of my guest episodes and maybe find some new podcasts to listen to in 2025, I have a Spotify playlist that you can access for some great end-of-year listening to inspire you for 2025. The link to the playlist is in the show notes. Now, the last thing, number 3, is that I tried new things. Now, you may not think that this is a win, but I really do. Because as an almost 50-year-old, trying new things is not something that I enjoy or do very often. So having said this year I experimented with a few things in my business, like having my membership always open instead of only doing launches. I still did a couple of launches, but not as many as I usually would. I also participated in a summit and a few bundles, which actually saw my email list more than double this year. I'm still on the fence whether I attracted the right people, but my open rates remain the same, if not a little higher, so it seems to be on the right track. Doing more summits and bundles is something that I'll explore further in 2025, along with streamlining my offers and my funnels as well. I also tried a new one-on-one premium offer this year, which has me excited and really looking forward to focusing more on it in 2025, so stay tuned. Now, I'm someone who tends to look for the positive in situations. Occasionally, it may take me a little while, but I do get there. There's always opportunities for reflection and growth. So in that vein, here's a few of my main learnings from this year. The first thing is everything is a season, and I need to remind myself of this more often. There's times this year that my business took a huge backseat to other things in my personal life, and do you know what? That's okay. When my priorities change, but I still stay aligned with my values, which happen to be family, connection, and community, then it's okay. The second thing is not everything has to be about the business. Now, this is a really hard one. I've put 8 years into being a solopreneur and I've absolutely loved it. But I've realized that sometimes other things matter more. And even if I'm not making 6 figures or having 10K months, I'm here with a smile on my face and a community around me that I absolutely love. The next thing is that you don't have to love your business 100% of the time. And this was a really hard lesson to learn. Sometimes business is boring and sometimes you need a break from an aspect of it, like your content or the whole thing itself. This isn't a failure. It's self-care. Having a break, whether that means an actual physical break or doing something else altogether, can really help bring you clarity on what you really want to do and how you want to be doing it. So look out for that episode early 2025, where I'll expand more on my recent experience with falling out of love with the concept of business. And the last thing is, I love creating. Huge learning for me. So 2025 will see more mini offers and freebies to help you feel more at ease in creating content that you enjoy and speaks to the heart of your ideal client. So make sure that you're on my email list, and hint, you can do this by downloading the content review and planning guide so that you can be the first to know about all of the free resources and offers that will be dreamt up in 2025. So here's to celebrating the wins and the learnings. Even if you feel like 2024 was quiet, I'm sure that there's something that you can celebrate achieving. Just you being here listening to this podcast is a huge win within itself. Now, I mentioned earlier in the episode that I'd give you a quick exercise to help you look back on your content creation for the past year. You can think about what it might look like in 2025. The first thing is write down all of the places that you publish content. So that could be blogs, videos, socials, and list all of them out if you feel called to. Emails, podcasts, whatever it is, wherever you publish your content, write them down. Now, here's the fun part. The first thing that I want you to do is order these things by how easy they are for you to create. So that's the ease. The second thing is order them by how much you love to create it. And the last one is order them by the potential reward. So what will bring you the most sales or visibility or whatever your content objective is? What will give you the best outcome? Now, once you've ordered all of your content by these three things, ease, love, and potential reward, you will start to see some patterns emerging. Is there anything that you need to get rid of to make your life easier? Love creating content again and get a better outcome. You may be surprised at what you find out by doing that simple exercise. And if you'd like some more specific guidance with reviewing your content, don't forget to download the content review and planning guide. That's less about the numbers and more about you. I've put that link down in the show notes, so go and grab it now. Well, that's it from me for 2024. I want to say thank you so much for being here and listening to the Powerful Content podcast throughout 2024. And if you're a new listener, welcome. And I cannot wait to go into 2025 with you. I really look forward to being back in your ears on the 16th of January for episode 150. What a milestone, with a new year update. So until then, enjoy the 3 upcoming best of episodes for 2024, and I'll see you in 2025. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast this year and being a special part of my world. I truly appreciate you. Talk soon.
Thanks so much for listening. That's it for another week. To get more powerful content in your life, make sure you're following along on socials. My handle is @meldbusiness. And just in case you're wondering, the groovy music for this podcast was created by Just Here on SoundCloud. I'd also be super grateful if you took a moment to rate and review this podcast so more amazing women like you can experience the power of content. And if you're like, hell Mel, stop talking, I'm ready to work with you now, here's how we can work some powerful content magic together. Firstly, come and join the Content Effect, my membership inspiring women with service-based businesses to ditch the content chaos and start creating stand-out content that gets you noticed and makes sales. You can join us by using the link in the show notes or just Google the Content Effect. The second way we can work together is via my one-on-one packages. We can create a sustainable content strategy or start to build out your client journey. It's up to you. Hop on over to meldbusinessservices.com.au/services to find out more. Until next time, have a beautiful week and embrace the power of your content.